everybody. Welcome back into IMHO. I'm Kelcey. That's Lang Whitaker.
What's up?
What's up? Okay, so Lang, just this week, Sports Illustrated came out with this like iconic picture of LeBron with his two sons.
Yeah.
And so whenever something happens, we think about what else can fit into that category. And it got me thinking, families that are so incredibly talented that they just are in the NBA altogether.
Yeah, there's a lot now.
There's a lot. Like the Antetokounmpo family, Lopez, Morris, Ball.
Yes. Those are just
the Currys.
Brothers.
Yeah. There's like that weird one with like Austin Rivers and Doc Rivers, and then they're all married to each other. Like they're just taking over the NBA.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so let's do our top three.
Families. Is that what we're doing? Father, sons?
I went father, sons, but we can go family.
I did too, but I mean, it kind of, there's connections other places.
Did you want to throw T-Mac and Vince Carter in there?
I mean, I guess. But
that was my family members growing up.
Well,
I was like,
here's one. I'll start with this one. Here, so my favorite player growing up was Dominique Wilkins. Mm-hmm. He was on the Atlanta Hawks forever, and then some other teams. His brother, Gerald Wilkins, played for the Knicks and a bunch of other teams. And Gerald Wilkins' son ended up playing for a bunch of teams also. So Damian Wilkins went to University of Georgia, played for the Hawks, some other teams. So there's like a father, son, uncle connection there with the Wilkins family.
A little extra sprinkle with the uncle.
Yeah.
I like that one. Okay, my number three was Jimmy Walker and Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
Father-son duo. Obviously, we all know about Jalen Rose. Like in his prime, he was averaging 20 points a game. We see him now on TV as an analyst. And then Jimmy Walker averaged 17.3 assists, like in his 9-year career. He was a 2-time NBA All-Star. I just like that one. I felt like it was like two guys who had done really well. Because a lot of these, like, I was looking at father sons and I was looking at like Tim Hardaway and Tim Hardaway Jr. And it was like very much carried by one of the guys.
Yeah.
I like these two because they were both good and like consistent over a long period of time.
Well, in that same sense, I thought about Kevin Love and his dad, Stan Love, who played 4 or 5 years. But Kevin Love's obviously a way more decorated player. So I started trying to think of it the other way, like the father who was more decorated than the son. And I thought of Danny Shays and Dolph Shays. So Danny Shays played in the 80s, 90s, was sort of a journeyman center and played a long time. But his dad, Dolph Shays, a 12-time All-Star, played in the 50s. One of like he's a Hall of Famer, NBA Hall of Famer. So I thought of that as a different connection. And then I'll give you my last one, then you can do your last two. How about that? Sort of from the same era, I guess not really. Rick Barry, who played the 60s, 70s, played the ABA and the NBA. Everyone knows one of the great scorers of all times. And then 3 sons who made it to the NBA. John Barry, Drew Barry, Brent Barry. And he had another son, Scooter Barry, who I believe won an NCAA championship. He won an NCAA title at Kansas, I think. But pretty prolific to have that many kids.
That's actually crazy.
Who make it to the
for
league.
you yourself to be that good, and then also for all of your spawn.
Yeah.
Okay, there was so many to choose from.
There's a ton.
Because I went like straight father son. There's freaking Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Like I can't even like, what did I say? Larry Nance, Gary Payton, GP2, like Clay.
Yes.
Bill and Luke Walton. There's so many.
The whole Warriors backcourt.
No, seriously though. Like the whole Warriors period.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So my number 2 is very much carried by the son. But I felt like he deserved a shout out on this, and that is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Because his father, Joe Jelly Bean, where Bean comes from with Kobe, was also in the NBA for 8 seasons. He averaged 9 points, something. Not like a crazy career like Kobe, but because Kobe was so flippin' good, I feel like that deserves a little shout out on the father-son. And then my last one seems like very obvious because I've talked about it, but Steph Curry changed the game of basketball. I don't think anyone's going to say he's not the best shooter of all time. His dad obviously played in the league. He has another brother too, so Seth is in there, but it's like mainly about Steph. And it's cool to see Dell, obviously like his playing career, but also still around the NBA and the Hornets. He led the Hornets in franchise records like at times when he was playing. Like he was mostly a role player, but he was still like he was
great.
A sniper.
Yeah. How about this? When I was a kid, I went to Brad Daugherty basketball camp. Brad Daugherty, center for the Cleveland Cavaliers, played at North Carolina. I went to a basketball camp, and he brought in as the guest speaker one day Del Curry, shooting guard from the Hornets, who taught us all how to shoot. And obviously, the lessons worked better for some people than for me.
Shout out genetics.
Yeah.
All right, those are our big NBA families. We want to hear yours. Top 3 people who are related who have killed it in the NBA. We'll see you guys next week.